Hey, what's up everybody? Really quick, can I just see who's here and let me know if there's latency issues or anything like that. I would appreciate it. I've had some issues with Restream, so that's been fun. That's why we're a little late. All right. So I'd love to see who's here and who's hanging out. Visual Night, what's up? Is the audio and everything sounding good? Hello, Jan. Best Visuals, what's up? Or Best at Visuals, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. No delay in sync. Fantastic. Just making sure, because I've had some weird things where I'm trying to change up some stuff here on the stream. So I'll do that side. All right. Good. Got some people on Twitch hanging out. We are going to be doing a giveaway for that Live Link plugin that you can use for Substance Painter to C4D. I've done some tutorials on that. We're going to do a giveaway for that, so we can kind of go through what we're talking about today. First things first is we're going to talk about the VFX crash course and how that's going, because man, I've been working really hard on that, and I'll show you guys a little preview of some of the lessons, the list. And then new merch. So I just found out you can do some cool new merch stuff here on Streamlabs and with Twitch, so that's kind of cool. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to, I want to get you guys' thoughts and love to hear it in the comments, what you guys think of doing some interviews with artists. Because when I went to Siggraph, I met some awesome artists, and there's so many talented people out there that I think it'd be cool to hear their perspective on why they got into VFX, what they do in VFX, what inspires them, just things like that. So let me know if that's some content you guys want. We're going to talk about Siggraph, speaking of. We'll talk about how awesome that was. New YouTube videos. If you guys don't know, yeah, go to YouTube and check it out, unless you're on YouTube watching. How's it going, everyone? We have, let's see, Jan in Singapore. We have Paul in the Philippines. Yeah, we have Vincent from Taiwan. What's up, guys? Awesome. We got a global audience. This is great. Hopefully, you guys aren't watching this in the middle of the night. I don't know what time it is there. Maybe it's morning for you guys. Yeah, let's just, you guys chime in. Love to hear where you're from, what you guys do, and we'll do some Q&A at the end as well. Then we're going to talk about Redshift. So some cool things with Redshift, the PostFX, which are really cool. We're going to play with that. We're also going to do some Caustics, because I was looking on YouTube and I haven't seen any really good comprehensive stuff on YouTube. So yeah, that would be really cool to show. Sorry guys, notifications, crap. Yeah, so we're going to play in Redshift today and do Caustics. Definitely something that I don't feel many people are touching on. Jan says it's 3 a.m. Can't sleep. Well, hopefully the stream doesn't put you to sleep. But yeah, I've really, since Siggraph, I've gotten like the fire back, and I've been really hitting it hard. Really want to grow this. I'd love, you know, for me to be able to do this a lot more frequently. So I did some polls on YouTube, and there definitely was, like everyone said, do tutorials and live streams. So we're going to do both. We're going to try to do live streams. Maybe we'll do like every other week thing. 1 week's live streams, the next week's tutorial, back and forth. that would probably work better for me, and hopefully that'll work for you guys as well. Okay, Visual Knight says he got the HH Connect, which is the Live Link plugin. Best $18 spent for sure. That is, yeah. We're going to be doing a drawing for that, and I'm going to test out this capability to be able to do a contest, someone that can win the giveaway. So we're going to see if that will work. Hopefully it does. But either way, one of you is going to get a free license of Live Link at the end of the stream, which is cool. Okay. So maybe we'll just jump straight into it. We're going to talk about, let's go to my other screen. We'll talk about the crash course. Yeah? Okay, let's do it. So this is the landing page right now. It's not done. We're going to have a different video here. But there's a little bit about me and what's included. So far, we're at 47 videos. And that's not even all of them, guys. 47 videos. And mind you, these videos are like 20 to an hour long. 20 minutes to an hour long. Okay? So there's a lot of content. And so we're going to scroll down. We're going to have introductions. We're going to talk about getting inspired, production tips, the first lessons, finding working with clients, creating concept art. So a lot of Photoshop basics, but also teaching some really good tips and tricks. Creating animatic. And we're going to be using all these fun things. We will be using Octane. And then in the post phase, we are going to be using Octane and Redshift, which is pretty cool. So that will be fun. And then, yeah, we're going to do some planning for production stuff, VFX supervising, what to film on set, preparing footage, tracking, sculpting, rendering, animating, simulation stuff. And then this is something that's been a little bit newer, is we are doing compositing in Nuke and Fusion. And I do this whole thing about the difference between node-based compositing and layer-based compositing, because my gosh, there is a big difference. And I got really frustrated trying to do this lesson for just you After Effects users, and to make a really cool cinematic shot, 3D compositing using After Effects, and it's just not the tool for the job. So I talk a lot about node-based versus a layer-based, but don't worry, because I'm going to help you guys, and I will help you transition from After Effects to Fusion or Nuke, and yeah, it'll be really cool. So that is the crash course, which is pretty exciting stuff. Let me know your thoughts, what you guys are thinking. Visual Knight says, never used Nuke or Fusion. I'm so used to layer-based compositing. Dude, don't worry about it, man. We're going to help you out. It's gonna be awesome, I promise. Like once you get it, it's one of those things that you don't go back. I've been using Nuke now for I think two and a half years, and holy crap, I can't, like, compositing wise, I can't. It's so I can. It's so hard to use After Effects going back. So yeah, I would say you're gonna love it. Oh, we got Brenchtown. Brendan, by the way, what's up? So yeah, my resolution, everyone says, is 40p. I think after sorry guys, I'll try to see if I can improve the stream. I'm having some issues with stream. It may be looking better possibly on Twitch. So if you guys want to jump over on Twitch, it may look a little bit better. Not sure why. I'm on Ethernet, guys, so it should be running like a charm. Okay, now let's talk about some merch. So I just discovered this new thing. We can do some merch, fun stuff. Our merch store got taken down temporarily on our other merch store. So I'm going to be creating a new merch store, and also phone cases and bags and all this other cool stuff. And yeah, right now I just put up some t-shirts. This is just Streamlabs little thing you can do, which is awesome. So yeah, we're gonna have some t-shirts. You can go get these right now. Link will be in the description on YouTube, and I believe on Twitch as well. So yeah, go check out the merch stuff. That's kind of fun. And next, let's talk about, okay, I'm gonna close that down. YouTube videos. I've got a whole bunch of new YouTube videos. Like I said, we've been doing a lot of stuff on the community, talking about what things you guys want to see. So I'm trying to, you know, help you guys out. And yeah, so I have Redshift Forester, one that just came out, and the LiveLink plugin. I suggest go watching that so you can understand how awesome the LiveLink plugin is. And like I said, one of you is going to get it for free. I was given permission to give away a free license to you guys, so that's pretty cool. And it's awesome. It's a must-have plugin. So if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, do it. And Twitch, follow us, please. That'd be awesome. You can support the streams and the videos. You can drop like a donation if you guys want. It'd be cool if this eventually became my full-time gig. So yeah, that'd be cool. Like I said, yeah, Twitch may be looking a little bit better. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with the restream. It's been kind of buggy, so I apologize. Hopefully we'll get this thing up and running. I'm having to actually jump in between the YouTube and Twitch right now to read the comments because restream is not working. So yeah, what's the other thing we're going to talk about? Let's take a look. So we got that, got the course. Those of you who don't know, website vfxcentral.net, where we talk about all fun things VFX, and well, that's what we're doing right now. And we have cool products. So if you guys don't know, we have some explosions, lens flares, things to help you guys make your composites look cooler. So yeah, that's fun stuff. Oh, Siggraph. I was going to tell you about Siggraph. Holy crap, Siggraph was amazing. It seriously was one of the coolest things to be able to present and meet some of you guys. I met Peter from Mexico. He was a cool concept artist and did some amazing stuff. So that was rad to meet him. And some of you other guys that know me from VFX Central recognize me, which I thought was pretty rad. So it was cool. It was awesome. And I was kind of nervous presenting, but I think it turned out pretty good. Let's see what else is going on in the chat. Oh yeah, I was going to say, so they're going to start posting the presentations. And so go to cineversity.com and you can go to the Siggraph 2018 Rewind. And they're going to be putting these out maybe once a week, or I'm not sure. But I'll let you guys know when mine comes out. But then you can watch all these different presentations. And man, there's some talented people in there. So it was seriously the coolest thing. Like all week, I was hanging out with Josh Johnson. We were hanging out with the Grayscale Gorilla guys, and that was rad. And Tim Clapton, like it was cool. We got to eat dinner and hang out, chat about VFX, and I got to geek out. Met some of the guys that worked on, guys and gals that worked on Black Panther, and then we hung out with Scanline VFX in Vancouver. It was just so cool. So it was inspiring and definitely motivated me to keep going on this side of things, on the VFX Central side of things. So that was really fun. Let's see what else. I'm going to jump back to the list. What other things we're going to talk about? All right, so Redshift updates. Yeah, we have some cool Redshift updates with PostFX. We're going to jump in right now. And then at the very end, we're going to do the live link giveaway. So that'll be rad. So stay tuned. All right, let's jump over into Cinema 4D and start playing around with some caustics. And then we're going to do some rendering. So also, oh, last thing, let me know what you guys think of doing some interviews. Because like I said, I met this Peter guy, and he works on like concept art for like a bunch of shows on Netflix, and I'd love to like do an interview, and I'm probably going to do it anyway, but I want to see what you guys think. If that's something you're interested in, let me know, because I think it'd be really fun to do some things like that, and also with just some other artists in the industry. So let me know what you guys think. All right, let's jump over into Redshift. So let me just change windows. All right, here we are. Are we looking good? Good. All right. So we're going to talk about caustics. This is something, like I said, I didn't see a lot of people doing this. Some very many good tutorials, sadly, that explained or showed caustics in a way that I understood. So we're just going to do that today. So So let's first just add this thing in here, put a sphere in, and we're gonna do a redshift material. And let's just drag this onto the sphere. I'm gonna open the render window. And then we're gonna talk about how to make this thing look cool. I'm gonna try to also make this window as big as I can for you guys, so it's looking good. I'm also gonna throw in probably just like a sun and a big light. Let's throw another material maybe on the ground, something that's non-reflective. So let's just make this thing a little bit darker. Let's crank up the roughness, turn down the reflectivity. Okay. And okay, now let's figure out how to add some caustics. So this took me a second, and I don't know if I was just too lazy to read the manual or what, but I could not figure it out. First, let's make this object glass. So if you go into your Redshift material, they already have one built in. So I'm going to turn that on. And I'm also going to add in some dispersion because it just adds a little bit more realism. You know, the rainbowy effect in glass. That's essentially what that does. And I'll leave the IOR around there. So caustics is, if those of you that don't know, it's when light passes through like kind of glassy or hits like a metally object and leaves like a cool pattern on the ground of light. That's caustics. So what we're going to do is try to figure out how to make that on the ground. So the first thing you need to do is set up your object or your lights to actually do the caustics. So what we need to do is make sure that is turned on. And if we go to the light, so we're going to do the sun, click photons and then do emit caustics. And this number, you're going to want to bump it up quite a bit. So there's plenty. So I'm just really going to, I think 5 million actually is the best. So I'm going to leave it at 5 million. And the next thing you need to do, which was the aha moment that my coworker and I had, is you need to make sure that this has a Redshift object tag. Then you got to go to visibility and turn on cast caustics. I don't know why I could not figure that out for the life of me, but that's what you do. So it doesn't work in the IPR window unless you are using bucket rendering, but I'm just going to do a normal rendering. And you can see right here, it's constructing caustics and the hierarchy. So it's going to look at your lights and it's going to try to figure out what's going on with the caustics. So there you go. Now you're starting to get that little hot spot where the light is hitting for the caustics. So yeah, that's how you do that. And there's some cool things to optimize this. So let's maybe add a couple objects in here. So let's just do a cube as well, just to, you know, have a little bit of variety. I'm also going to, you know, we could do, just to change it up, is we can add like a displacement on this. So I'm going to make this a little bit more beveled. And we're going to add a displacer on the sphere. Those of you that haven't played with a displacer, it's awesome. My friend David does a really good tutorial on how to make landscapes, and I'll do one probably a bit later on how to use it just for Redshift users. So then you go to noise, and let me see if I can turn off. The glass texture, unfortunately, is very hard to see with displacement. So I'm going to temporarily turn that off. Okay, so there you go. And unfortunately, it's looking kind of crappy because we didn't have enough polygons. So we could go to like the face mode, select all, and let's subdivide the crap out of this thing. I'm just gonna go nuts with it. So I just subdivide that quite a bit. So now when we do the displacement on there, you get something like that. Okay. And we can now choose a noise pattern that we like. So if you click on this button, there's different types of noise patterns. So you can make like a little city doing something like that. And I'm also gonna crank up. There we go. That looks kind of cool. So once you choose like one of these noises, you can just toggle by pressing the up and down arrow and choose a different type of noise. And then you can mess with the contrast ratios. So this is a great way to like make meteors, rocks, whatever, really quickly. And the other fun thing about it is you can layer these. So you can go click on this on the shader and do layer, go to layer, and we can go copy and paste. But maybe this one we're gonna just change up something, you know, the style of it a little bit different. So now you have this one on top of that one, but just like Photoshop, you can use like multiply. And so now you're multiplying between the two, so you can see this little wave. So really cool way to get a ton of detail in there like that. So I'm gonna make that thing like kind of blobby just so that we can use this for demonstration purposes. While I'm going through this, guys, let me know if you have any questions. Okay, so now we have this cube as well that we're gonna also emit caustics from. And let's throw this material back on the cube and on there. And I'm also gonna hold Control and drag this Redshift tag on the cube so that it will also emit caustics. All right, so now we're gonna re-render this with just these two. And while that's rendering, I'm gonna check if you guys have any questions. Look at the chat. All right. All right, so there's the glass. Now it's gonna do the point cloud rendering, and look at that. Look how cool that looks. So you got these really nice looking like caustics being, you know, blown all over the floor. Like that's just, those are like the little details that you guys should have in your renders when you're, especially with glass, anything with glass. Caustics are just things that happen in nature just because physics. And it's really good to make sure that you guys, you know, emulate some of this stuff. Water, glass, caustics are a must. So we can optimize the caustic so it doesn't take as long. If it's not moving, go to your Redshift settings and we can go to photon. So right now it's on the rebuild mode, don't save. So what it's doing is every time it renders, it's going to rebuild the caustics. Now, if you're doing an animation, you can bake these out, and I'm gonna show you, or you're still. So all you gotta do is hit rebuild, okay? And now you can choose a path, but this is where it's gonna save it. And yeah, you can choose a path where you want your caustics to save or whatever. And now we're gonna hit render. So now it's gonna rebuild it, but now it's gonna save it. Before it was just rebuilding. So hit render, and it's gonna run through, it's gonna rebuild the caustics again. Okay. All right. So there it is again. It looks exactly the same. We didn't really change anything. But now that we have it rebuilt, we can do load. And now it's going to load those caustics. And what it should do is it should just skip the whole processing your caustics and go straight to your render. But lo and behold, it did not work. Of course, because I'm demonstrating it live. Oh, I do see it failed to map. Okay. Let's try to make maybe a new caustics. Okay. And rebuild. Let's try this again. Visual King says, good for stained glass. Yeah, glass, water, caustics are definitely a must. We're going to see if this thing saves. I did get that error before. That could be just something with my version of Redshift. If it is, that's super lame. All right, so let's see if it saved it. File name, load. So I can, so it should be, oh wait, we have to click on it, there we go. Okay, so now it should, when I hit render, now it should just reload without having to calculate the caustics. Yep, there we go, so it's a lot faster now. Now, like I said, if this thing was animated, you'd have to save whole animation out of your caustics. But if you're just doing a still and you're happy with your caustics, just to save yourself rendering time, make sure that you do a rebuild and then you load in that that caustics file. And if I change the angle of it, of our camera, it shouldn't have to load the caustics. Yep, see, we don't have to recalculate the caustics again. So, yeah, Carlos just asked about me moving the camera. Yes, as you can see, we can move the camera around, and if you watch down here, it totally skips the caustics processing. So it just goes straight to your render, which is awesome. See? Boom. Just like that. So that's super handy when you're doing like a still, especially. Like that's gonna save, you know, a ton of time. I'm gonna crank up my settings because this is not looking too good. It's really noisy. There is the new denoiser, which is pretty cool stuff. I'm gonna see if I change my render settings, if it'll still render the caustics, which it should, because the caustics were saved out separately. So now we're just increasing the resolution of our render to get rid of noise and all that fun stuff. So let's see if it, okay, yeah, it still worked. Caustics do look a little noisy, so you may want to, you know, once you do your final render, so you could do like a lower resolution for your caustics in the photon settings, and then bump it up once you're ready to save your final caustics pass. But still, that's really fast, so you don't have to calculate this every time, which is can be a huge pain. So that's a nice time saver right there for sure. I'm gonna stop this render, and maybe I'll just go 120. We'll bring that down a little bit, and I'm going to do another rebuild. And max number of caustic photons, you can crank that up. I was gonna see in our, maybe once I turn my settings up, maybe the caustics will become cleaner, and then after we save it, it'll kind of hold that resolution. I think that's what that does. So I'm just gonna rebuild this one more time. And I also believe you can turn on global illumination caustics, so that your like sky or whatever is casting caustics. Carlos says, try putting an object between the floor and the caustics. Okay, we'll do that. Why not? Let me just cancel that render. Let's go from a different view then. So let's see. Let's just add another sphere. But I'm going to put this, maybe the sphere will have the same texture as the floor. just that kind of gray, and make sure that it's lining up nicely. Okay, yeah, so we'll have Caustics just kind of hit that. I'm also, this is just me being picky, guys. I hate this sky situation, so I'm gonna get rid of that and put a dome light. See, yeah, so every dome light can emit caustic. So if I wanted to, I could have the dome light as well. Maybe we will just do it for test, you know? Let's find a nice image to use. Let's go in here, HDR. Not sure what this HDR is. Okay, that's a sunset one. We've used this one before, that's right. All right, so this lighting is totally not going to be correct, but we're just going to use it anyway. I'm also going to turn this up to 50. Okay, save, and let's render these caustics out on here. So the light should be shining through that one sphere and hitting this other one and the ground. So let's do a quick render of that. While that's going, anyone have any questions? Let's see. Vincent, is there a sampling parameter in the render setting specifically dedicated to caustics? Let me check. I'm sure there is. Or I don't know if it's just the number of photons you add. I mean, I'm doing 5 million, so it's quite a bit. And it should be on the rebuild mode. All right, it's gonna render. Okay, so now we can see the caustics are kind of noisy. And I don't know if it's just because I didn't put enough photons in the scene. Did we turn it on? Yeah, we did. Let me see. Let's check the difference. So those have the exact same amount, but because I think this is like a giant sphere that's casting, it may just be like there's no direct hard light, that whereas the Redshift sun that we have is such a harsh light, you're gonna get a lot stronger caustics, whereas if you have a soft source, the caustics aren't gonna look nearly as intense. Okay, so let me also check the photon. So it was on rebuild. Let's now do load. So it should already be that one. And let's hit render. I just want to see loading from disk, radiance cache point, radiance point cloud, sorry. All right, so yeah, it's still loaded. It's loading it fine. Let's change the angle. And let's take a look at some of these settings then, because maybe we have to, let's put it back on rebuild. Max number of photons, 200. Not quite sure, so I'm not sure if this is search radius. Let's take a look at some of our sampling overrides, because there's nothing in here. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything in there. Let's also take a look at the light. I'm going to turn off the dome photons because I don't think that's really doing anything that I like. It's usually just cast from super harsh lights anyway. You can crank up the intensity, so maybe we'll just do it for kicks. We'll just turn it up a bit. Yeah, I'm not seeing any settings for the samples. So if someone knows where that is, just pipe in. No, just number of photons. So we have I go by Zach says, no, just go by number per light. You can increase the search radius in the caustic settings to smooth out the results. So you increase the search radius. Okay. Let's go give that a test. So if I turn this to, it's at 1, but what would 1 do, you know? Let's just take a look. See what this looks like. Sky objects need a ton of photons, yes, to smooth out caustics. I agree. Workaround would be put a spotlight in the scene, same angle as the dome light, and you could just turn on specular and diffuse from the spotlight photons caustics. Yep. He knows. This is why it's good to have you guys in the chat. Oh, wow. Yeah, definitely the search radius smooth things out. At least the ones here on the ground. They look a lot smoother. Nice. So we're getting those nice rainbowy caustics on the ground from the dispersion, which looks super cool. Excuse me. I need to drink really quick. Okay. See, this is why it's good we do this, because we get some people, you know, jumping on the chat, helping out. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back and make sure that's on load, since that's saved. I'm curious if you can do the. No, you can't. In IPR, you cannot unless you're doing bucket rendering. You can't preview your caustics, which is kind of a bummer. I mean, it makes sense. But yeah, the bucket render looks like the only way you're gonna see your caustics. So, you know, once you kind of finalize what the angle that you're happy with, let's do something like that. I am curious if I move objects or change, let's maybe add a new material on the sphere that it's being cast on. I'm curious if that at all affects the caustics. Not sure it will, but we will see. Just want to say thank you, Visual Night, for following on Twitter, and Devin Blue Whitaker just subscribed on YouTube. Thanks, guys. Okay, let's re-render this with the caustics. Everyone's wondering if we can watch it higher than 448p. I'm sorry. Twitch looks like, I don't know if we can confirm. Yeah, Twitch looks like it is a little bit higher resolution. I don't know what's going on with the YouTube. It does say my stream health is garbage. So I don't know what the heck is happening with that. So you may want to run over to Twitch. It looks like it does look a little bit better if you're having some issues. I am trying to figure out today, like I said, those of you that are just tuning in, it's freaking Restream has been so terrible. I don't know what's going on. Their like chat thing isn't even coming up. So yeah, Restream is how I broadcast to these different platforms. And man, it's being annoying. It's not working. So kind of a bummer. It is broadcasting it, but it's not working. Like the chat or any of the other stupid things aren't working. And for some reason, it's broadcasting like super crap resolution. Hopefully we'll figure all the bugs out. All right. Sorry. So yeah, this is looking like it's working, and it did save the caustics. So that's really cool. And what do you guys say that we start looking at the almighty PostFX? I know a lot of you guys have been wanting to see these, so we're just gonna show you all the cool PostFX. If you guys have any more questions about caustics, ask questions in the chat. Hopefully some of you other guys can help. Sounds like a lot of you guys are really skilled with the caustics and all the other things, but I'll answer what I can. What is your computer screen resolution? Anything beyond 1080p because it causes problem. Okay. Twitch is 710 resolution. I will try to figure out on the next stream how to make this resolution go up. So I'll do some research because that is dumb. I know. All right. Okay, so the new PostFX are pretty rad, and I show these a little bit in the the Forester tutorial I did, but I'll just show you guys since it got you here. So you have the color management stuff, which isn't new. I typically like to use OCIO, which is like ACES, and you can get these from the ACES website. ACES 1.0.3 is the color space that feature films typically are graded in. So I just like to use that, and you can do sRGB ACES, or you can do like raw ACES, or you can do log, or you can do something like Rec 709, which I usually do like Rec 709. That's just what I like. There's also now a new LUT thing, which is rad. So if you have some cool LUT, let's try this Prismo. Oh, I do not like that LUT. Let's try the M31 Rec 709, since we put it in the Rec 709 space. And you can dial the strength of it, convert to space before, or apply after. So there's a couple of options here that you can play with. I like to do apply management before LUT. So yeah, it's just kind of a LUTs are just styling things. You also have this new color controls. Well, I don't know. The color controls actually isn't that new. You can do contrast, exposure. Okay. Different channels, so you have curves in here. And this is PostFX, so you can render it, IPR window, all that fun stuff. And you can see this live. This is just the post render. So that's fun. And photographic exposure. So it's like your ISO and your shutter and your f-stop, your white point, allow desaturation. This is like, you know, if I turn this Reinhard factor, it's gonna, like, my highlights will clip, which I actually don't like. I always like to do a little bit flatter, especially when you get into post compositing. Black crush threshold, so you know you can turn that up so it crushes the blacks. Just whatever you prefer. A lot of this is just your preference stuff. So yeah. Now the fun, oh yeah, and saturation. So if you guys want it more saturated, desaturated, whatever. Bloom, here we go, guys. This is what everyone loves because this is what Octane has and everyone loves it. So bloom effects. So you have the threshold. So that's, you know, the threshold is basically, how to explain the threshold? It's not like the intensity. It's like how much of a certain amount of brightness will bloom. Yes. So you can see, like, first when I dial this down the threshold, you'll see that highlights only will bloom, and then as I go further, everything will. So that's just a threshold. You have this hardness and softness, so how much you want it to bloom softness-wise. This, another cool thing, is the tint. So now you can tint your blooms. So if you want to throw like multiple layers of color in, you can do that. And the intensity, so there's like the intensity knob, which is pretty cool. Carlos says threshold is cutoff point. Yes, the cutoff point. Thank you, Carlos. So you have these fun bloom. Now let's talk about flares, because this was one of my favorite things. And to demonstrate the flares, I'm actually going to go, we're going to do it in the IPR window. We're not going to have the caustics, but that's right. So I'm going to minimize this a little bit more. So the cool thing is these flares, they react really well to the camera lens. And, well, that blooming's hot. Let me turn the blooming down. All right, so we're gonna do lens flare. So if I dial this, you'll see the flare starts kicking in, and there's a softness. For demonstration purposes, I am gonna crank these up a little bit. And you have a chromatic aberration. So if you look really closely right there, it does like an RGB split, which kind of looks cool. I always like doing chromatic aberration fun things. Size, so this is obviously the scale of that. So if I turn it down, it's going to be a lot sharper. And like I said, I'm going to do this pretty sharp for you guys so you can see it. And there's the threshold more, so you can see what it's doing. Halo, so there is this little ring. And let me see if I can turn up the intensity. There you go. So now you can see these flares really well. And there's that cool halo that peeks through. I mean, this is going really stylized. Way too much. Okay, there's the halo. So you can change the size of your halo. Flare size, we can get a little bit bigger. Chromatic aberration, softness. Never go too sharp on your and too crazy with these because it'll start looking super janky. And the same thing, you can choose colors. So we could just, you can do like a gradient of colors on your flare. And yeah, you can start seeing it react. See if I can get a nice angle. Yeah, so it's really fun because you can really tweak this thing, get some cool looking effects. Oops. Let me get back above the ground. Okay, so that's fun. And see, like, there's certain angles, glancing angles, you'll get some flares, which is cool. And let me turn up the intensity. And I'm also going to play with focal length. So let's add a camera. So we're at 36, but if you go 50, okay, so it doesn't change it that much. All right, so streaks. This is also, you know, something fun that everyone likes to play with. Turn off the bloom. I'm going to turn off the flare just so we can see the streaks. Streak threshold. Let's back this up. So now we got these nice streaks. See, and I can rotate them. Right, you could do like 10 of these. So now the sun has that streak. Or, you know, if you want to be like J.J. Abrams it, you could do like a, you know, the lens flares that streak across the camera, you know, see like that. We'll crank up the intensity. So you can really see them. Okay, softness, number, yeah. So it's really cool, all the things you can do with this. Let's see if I can find, as I move around, you can kind of see these streaks bleeding over. That's kind of a good angle for us to see the streaks bleeding over our objects. And so you can dial it back. And then we can turn our bloom back on, turn the threshold or the intensity of that down so it just blooms a little bit. And then add those flares back in. And when you have it all together, you get some really cool looking effects. Just some things to help you guys make it look a little bit cooler. Let's see. We've had a lot of people chatting. Threshold. Okay, we're talking about instant. Oh yeah, everyone's saying instant J.J. Abrams. Totally. Everyone always does this with the all of the PostFX and Octane, and I actually was really stoked that they put these types of things here in Redshift. I actually talked to the CEO, and and the president of Redshift. We were hanging out at Siggraph, and then we went to like a bar, and we were just chatting, and I was like, dude, I really want to play with PostFX. And so he's like, all right. So shout out to people at Redshift. You guys are awesome, making this freaking rad plugin and giving us these cool tools. So yeah, really cool stuff that you can do with the PostFX. Some people are super against PostFX. I think they're great, at least even to visualize what you want to do. And, you know, sometimes it even just helps you get an idea. Oh, I want to put a camera here and maybe a nuke or After Effects. You're like, this is the way I want my flares to look. You can render these out with the PostFX, but they, right now, I don't think they have it as a separate AOV. But I believe they will soon. So, one sec. Let me just check the chat. Yeah, a lot of people are like, man, I've been waiting for PostFX. Oh yeah, I'm exhausted waiting for PostFX release. Awesome. Those of you that are new to this stream, that are just tuning in, we are playing in Cinema 4D with Redshift. Does it work slightly off-screen sources? Kara is wondering about like at a glance. Sometimes when you have a camera and you're not looking at a light, if it affects it that way. We can do a little test and see. Oh, so we'll do that in 1 second. I just want to read some of these, what people are saying in the chat. I always use the build C40 render. Switch to Redshift. Okay, Visual Knight wants to know, like, what's the advantage of using Redshift? Those of you that don't know a lot about why Redshifts so popular, Redshift and Octane, is because it's GPU and it's super fast. It's incredibly photoreal. If you guys have seen the stuff that it's been done in Redshift, like I know all the stuff at Blizzard now, their cinematics, Overwatch cinematics, all Redshift. The new Rampage movie, the opening scene in space, all Redshift, and things like that. So Redshift is becoming more and more integrated into the VFX rendering pipelines in major studios, and it's because it's fast, so you can preview your lighting quick, and the renders are freaking clean. That was the biggest thing, was the two biggest things for me going to Redshift. I love Octane. I still use it on some things. Mostly previs and just post stuff. It's really quick to get an idea and throw stuff together. But like if I'm doing like an actual like scene, fully CG and all that stuff with like volumetrics and all that stuff, I was having issues in the past. I know Octane's fixing it, but I had problems in the past with too many polygons, too many textures, projections. Volumes were noisy, and with Redshift I can throw all that crap at it and it just does it. So I'm a huge fan of Redshift. I think it's really good. That's just me. I love, you know, the pro renderer for C40 is rad. Physical render is pretty good, but being able to iterate is one thing I really like about the about Redshift. So I'll have to maybe learn a little bit more about pro render before I, you know, have a really strong opinion. And I know the new R20, I got to play with that and demo it at Siggraph. Excuse me. And it was really cool. It was, holy cow, like the field stuff, the volume modeling, insane. Pro render is really good. I also, my friend Matt did a presentation on using pro render for, what's it called? Like not style guides, but like like a pitch deck. Oh man, it was so cool. So there are some huge benefits to, you know, pro render, and you can get some amazing results. They have the new node materials, which is sweet too. So, okay, let's see. I was gonna see at a glance if we can get hit by the light. So like off-screen stuff. I'm not seeing too much of it. You know, typically, like, I mean, this is not the best example of the way I would light this thing, because you would want to, I know Zach was saying, and I agree with him, normally you'd want to like line this like sunlight up to where that sun is actually coming from in our sphere, so it would be more like something closer to that. Maybe even lower. You can see where the light's coming from. Yeah, that would be probably closer to what you would want this to look like. But because we changed the angle, I think we have to re-render our caustics. So we can do that, and then if you guys don't have any more questions, oops, we'll move on to some other fun stuff. Okay, I'm gonna just render some caustics because I want to, and see what that would look like. All right, so make sure we go back into our settings and we go photon, and we go rebuild. Okay, I'm gonna rebuild these really quick, and while that's going, I am going to read some comments. I shouldn't work with the off-screen stuff. Data, yeah, yep. Carlos is correct. The PostFX I don't think are gonna work off-screen because it's not. It doesn't understand that it is a 3D environment. It's doing the PostFX thinking it's a 2D, so it's not doing like. It's not understanding like where the lights are in 3D space. It's looking at it. That's why it's PostFX, because it's looking at it as just an image, and it's blooming highlights, and it's color correction, and all that fun stuff. It'd be cool if one day they had like a cool flare plugin. I wonder if I would be smart enough to make something like that. Probably not. That's cool. So now we're getting some of these nice caustics from the sun setting on the ground. I don't know if you guys can see that. Oh yeah, you can see it on the stream. So okay, I'm gonna jump over. Okay, the point light lens. Point a light at the lens. Screw the sphere. Kevin, I don't think though it does off-screen like effects because it is a post effect. So I think we kind of determined that it's not gonna see it. So, oh, that looks a lot cooler right in here. Sing. Flare size. You know, you'd never. I mean, maybe something small like that. Otherwise, that just looks weird. See the chromatic aberration, all the fun stuff. You can turn up the softness, threshold, and streak threshold. Cool. That's kind of pretty stuff. Okay, is there any more questions with PostFX? Anything else you guys want to see? I kind of ran through all of this. I'm not sure exactly what the render info is. I've always been confused by that, so if you guys know what that is, that'd be rad. So yeah, that's the PostFX things, and it's pretty fun. While we're hanging out, let's talk about the LiveLink plugin, and let's do the giveaway. And I believe if those of you that are on YouTube, oops, I think I'm not quite sure if I can get it to work. Sorry guys, I'm distracted. And I'm not sure I can get it to work properly for the YouTube users. This what's it called? Giveaway app. Sorry guys, I'm all over the place. So if you're wanting to be a part of the LiveLink giveaway, jump over on the Twitch, and we're going to do a giveaway, and we'll do a drawing. So, let's see. I'll give you guys a couple seconds. Why do I wear headphones? So I can hear myself sometimes. I'll take them off. Okay, just reading a couple comments while I'm waiting maybe for a couple more people to jump on if they want to get on the VFX Central Twitch. I've been yelling at you about off-screen reactions YouTube chat. You just realized you're not reading that. Oh, sorry, Agent Rose. I'm sorry. I did. What happens if you point the light? I did have a sunlight. Sorry, he's wondering if we point a direct light instead of a dome light at the camera, will we get the lens flares? And yes, I had a sunlight that was like angled. We could put an area light and have it off screen and see if we want to do this really quickly. Because I want to do that drawing. All right, let's do this. We're gonna do this for the Agent Rose on sorry, on Twitch. Sorry I didn't read your comment on YouTube, my bad. All right, should we do an area light and make it visible? Is that what you want to do? We can do that. I'm gonna dock this thing because that's getting annoying. Okay, so the test is, can the light affect it? I don't think it can. Let's put visible. And we're going to turn the intensity of that up. All right, so there's a super intense light. And if I back it away, the only flares and all that stuff we're getting is from those objects. Is the objects giving us flares? It's not like affecting it in the way I think you're thinking it would. Yeah, because it's 3D, I mean, it's a 2D effect. It doesn't really care that this is off screen, and the flares are only coming from, it's like looking at it as a 2D image, just like as if you would like grade this thing. It's not understanding that that's a 3D light moving, and it's not gonna have like side light. What you could do in theory is you actually could create, and I've done this and it looked kind of cool, a actual like lens glass, right? And attach it to the front of your camera. And maybe we'll do this in another stream, to the front of the camera, so that way when a light hits it, the light's gonna bounce around the actual lens that you create, the 3D lens that you create on the front of your camera, and you may get some cool like flare effects that way. That would be probably a solution to that. So yeah. All right. Let's you guys ready to do the giveaway? Let's do the giveaway. Again, sorry everyone on YouTube, and sorry that the resolution's been crap, and that I can't do the giveaway that way. So, okay. Let's see if we can get this thing to work. So, all right, so this is for the Substance Painter plugin, the one that I did a tutorial on. And if you guys don't know what that is, you're totally missing out on one of the greatest plugins. If you're a Substance Painter in C4D or any freaking application that does any painting, it connects. It literally, you paint on an object, you hit update, it creates the materials for you in whatever application you're using. So it works for all these applications like Maya, Blender, all that fun stuff. Creates a material, and you can put the material on your object. It's amazing. And if you paint something in Substance, hit update, bam, it updates. The cool thing too is if you're an Octane or Redshift guy, guess what? It makes materials for you. It makes Octane and Redshift materials. Freaking cool. So, love it. Yeah, so I did a tutorial on it, this one. So if you ever get a chance, and hey, that's me, and you want to go watch it, basically, yeah, we do a painting, and we send that back over to Redshift C40, and it updates. Really cool. So go check out that video. All right, here we go, guys. Let's, everyone ready for this? Okay, here we go. And let's see if this thing wins. And the winner is, I'm going to hit roll it. What the heck? Reset. Eligibility. The winner is... Oh, no. Let's figure out why this isn't working. Has anyone ever used Nightbot? It's supposed to work. I don't understand why that's not working. Do you know what we're going to do? I'm going to try to log in with YouTube on this thing. Give me 1 second, guys. Let's see if this... All right. Do you know what we're gonna have to do, because that thing's just being so stupid? We may just have to randomly pick someone. Gosh, that was a fail. All right, guys. It's just a random... Oh my gosh, so stupid. Doesn't even work. Should we watch a YouTube video on how to get this thing to work? Oh, it's so dumb. I watched Dr. Disrespect on Twitch actually try to get this thing to work, and it didn't work, and it was so funny. He was getting so mad. It's like, this thing, Nightbot, does not freaking work. All right. Okay. Pick a cloner object between 1 and C40 crashing. That's great. Okay, this is what we're going to do. I would say just randomly. Okay, yeah, let's do this. Pick a number. I'm gonna write down a number. Let me get a piece of paper and write this down. And then we'll see who gets closest. This is the old school way of doing this. Okay, I'm gonna write a number down so you guys know that I'm not being biased. Okay, and this includes everyone on YouTube. Okay, pick a number between 1 and 100. Okay? And just post it in the chat, and I'm going to look and see. I'll give you guys, let's set a timer. I'll give you guys... couple seconds. Okay, looks like we've had some people posting. I'll play some music while we're waiting. Let me know if you guys can hear music. This whole new thing is just the worst, guys. I thought this would be like cool and like work really well. Turns out, no. Okay, numbers are rolling in. Okay, let's check YouTube. Okay, we'll do another... Another minute. Okay, 1 minute. For those of you, 1 minute, write a number between 1 and 100 on what you think. And if you get whoever's closest will win a free license of Live Link. So I'll message you after 30 seconds. Gosh, that music's kind of annoying. Okay. All right. Got a couple more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. All right, guys. Here's the number I wrote down. We're going to go to, let me go a close-up view so you guys can see it. Is that backwards? It says 5. It's 5. So, okay, let's see who got closest. So I see Visual Knight says 1. I think he is the closest. On YouTube, 69. Oh, that's good. Okay, so Visual Knight, do you already have the plugin? Don't you already have it? Gosh dang it, Visual Knight. You don't need a second. Do you really want it, or do you want to give it away? You choose. Oh, now everyone's putting numbers like really close. Like, oh, wait, I meant 3. I meant 4. No. Okay, give it the next number. The next number I think was Jan. Yep. Jan, you win, dude. So let me, I'm going to shoot you a message. Oops, I didn't mean to block you. Whisper. Hey. Okay, Jan, I just sent you a whisper. I banned you and then I unbanned you. So, because I clicked on the wrong button. But I just sent you a whisper. So, yeah, just... Giveaway's a trap. Yeah, the giveaway was actually a trap to ban you guys. Whoever got the right number gets banned for life. I'm going to give you my email and we'll get in contact. And I'm going to message my buddy Manuel who made this because he said today we could give it away. So let me shoot him in a message and let him know that you're the winner. Okay, I'm just going to do this right now and send him a quick email. Do you guys have any more questions before we start wrapping this thing up? What did you guys think of this format, doing stuff like this, giveaways, not really doing the live streams like a tutorial, just kind of cool things, and then chatting about a bunch of other stuff? What did you guys think? And what do you think of the interviews? Let me know. Okay, I just sent Emmanuel the Jan your info and your email, so he's gonna send you an email and send you a free license of the Substance Live Link plugin. Woo! You're a winner! Woohoo! Okay, I'm gonna figure out how to do that dumb thing. Still time for a test with a fake glass test. Okay. Awesome. Okay, yeah, maybe do you guys want me to do a quick glass effect? Akira Dawson's not happy about that he was 5. Oh, Matt Peterson says 87. Sorry, Matt. You lose, dude. I work with Matt. He's awesome. Matt Peterson, he's going to start doing some really cool tutorials. All right, that music's enough. Vision Light says, I heard Redshift 3 is going to have cell shading. I'm wondering when we'll see that. I don't know. I have to say, the guys at Redshift are crazy good at making new stuff, like updates. Like, they're crazy fast. You ever heard any of the music? Okay, wait, let me turn it back up. Are you guys not hearing any of this? Gosh, OBS is just the worst. Oh, you did hear. Is that too loud now? So picky. All right. Gosh, guys, we'll figure the streaming thing out, okay? I turned it off just barely. Also, if you guys aren't following me on the old Twitters, I'm gonna try to be more active on there. There's my Twitter. We got Twitter, Facebook. I'm just gonna plug myself now since you guys are here. Facebook.com/VFX Central, Twitter, VFX Central, you know. Let me know which one I should be. I'm trying to figure out what's the best thing to be active on. I have no idea. Okay, well, we could do a quick lens effect and see if that looks cool. So let's just drop in sphere. That's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna open a new viewer window so we can see our scene a little bit better, and drop the sphere in the camera. And I have this nice zeroing out PSR. So now I got this sphere in front of that. I'm gonna subdivide it a little bit more. And I'm gonna make it editable. And the next thing we're gonna do, just like a lens is kind of flat, so I'm gonna just make this look like a piece of glass. Drop that on there. All right, so in this view, we're not gonna be able to see it. I'm gonna actually hide it in the render view. And let's see if that does anything cool. May have to mess with the distance. Oops. Also make sure that you are on the right window. And if I move this thing, oh gosh, I gotta lock the view. Sorry, guys. So if I move this, there we go. So that lens, so that does kind of work. Here's without, here's with. So you could kind of create like a cool little lens. I'm curious what would happen if we stretched it. So you could make like an anamorphic lens in 3D space. So if I make this thing flatter, That's crazy. It changes almost like your focal length a little bit. Let's try to aim that light. Maybe we'll do like a spotlight and we'll aim it directly at the object and see what that would do. Okay. So you can create kind of a cool lens effect that way. Let me delete that area light and we're gonna just go straight spot. Let's see what this will do. Maybe it has to be visible, or maybe it has to be hitting it a little bit better because it's not. Yeah, I'm not seeing too much changing. It may have to make it visible. So we could play with that. Maybe something like an area light would be better. The other thing we could do, I'm going to duplicate this lens and replace that one. I'm going to mess with also the IOR. Well, that did brighten it up quite a bit. Whoa. Oh, that's way rad. See how it's like distorting it? It's kind of cool. Yeah, that's doing some trippy stuff. When you start playing with the IOR, that's weird. I don't know if this light's doing anything though. I think we need to have a light that we could actually physically see so that the reflections can see it. So let me throw in, let me also change back the index or the IOR. See when I back that way. Oh, that's cool. Whoa. Hey, look, I may have figured something out. That's a very interesting look. See, it's fun to mess around with stuff like this that like normally, you know, like throwing like lens effects, literal like pieces of glass in front of, that looks like a telescope almost. It's kind of cool effect. I'm just gonna go extreme just for kicks. So that adds like that effect. Could even add some roughness. I don't know what that's gonna do. Okay, yeah, we don't like that. It makes it blurry. But if we threw some depth of field on, I wonder if they would like blur some of those edges and make it look really cool. I'm also going to mess with some of the contrast values so we can see a little bit better. That looks cool. Getting that rainbow dispersion effect as well. All right, let's throw depth of field on to also add to that. That looks almost like you're like looking up into like into the sky and you're seeing these giant things just because it's all distorted. Goes here. Let's turn on that. All right, now it's gonna look at the camera focus, and what we can do is click on the camera, click on the picker, and we can choose what we want to focus on. Well, that didn't work. Let's try this again. Oh, that's interesting. Trying to find the distance. I tried to have it go from the camera, and well, that's looking sharper. But something with the radius, it freaked out. Oh, whoa. Okay. If we go that way. So yeah, throwing some lens effects in there does some pretty weird looking stuff. That's for sure. Guys, I don't even know what I just created. I'm gonna hit render and see what the heck I made. I just render it. It's super noisy because all the dispersion, because we're looking through a piece of glass. Visual night. I'm recording this. Why are you recording this, dude? I'm just kidding. You're fine. Okay, I gotta check on my YouTube friends. Weird things the only thing going on Redshift the other day. Frosted glass clear. Okay. Yeah, so you could do some type of effect like behind the lens. Oh, this is kind of cool. I mean, it's really dirty, but yeah, you could create some really awesome looking effects shooting through fake pieces of glass, you know, like you're just 3D objects that are just in front of it. I don't know, just try experimenting it. Like if you think of it like a real lens, because my buddy Jared Fidel, he's a crazy good DP. He'll do that all the time. He'll like take pieces of glass when he's shooting and he'll hold it in front of a lens and do some cool stuff. You know, doing stuff like that, like, I don't know, it could create some stuff that you've never seen before. Like, it's just a look that no one's really done in 3D, is just adding elements in front of their 3D camera. Not just like doing lens flares and streaks, but, you know. Now, I would crank the samples on this because that piece of glass is so close to the lens. I would even have to turn up to some of the subdivisions as well. I don't think it's smooth enough. Oh my gosh, I just realized you guys don't even see. I've been on the wrong screen the whole time. I am so sorry. Wow, I'm an idiot. That was a long time too. Hey guys, welcome back to the stream now that you can see it. Oh my gosh. I wish I had some type of notification that would tell me I'm an idiot. Wow, that was embarrassing. Anyway, what I did, now I'm going to show you guys, since you all missed out on this, is I have a camera, I have a little piece of a lens that's right up next to it. And I'll show you from a different view. Let's just open up this view. So I put an object, a little sphere object, right up to the front of the lens. Okay? And if I move it, you get some interesting effects. It'll start. Let me actually make it bigger. I think that's what did it. If I change like the thickness, or the IOR, maybe it's the IOR, or yeah. So if I change the IOR, it will do some interesting stuff. So you're getting crazy dispersion. Maybe I'll turn the dispersion off. All right, so the dispersion's off now. I'm also going to move this thing. So when I move it closer, see, it just does some really weird stuff. I mean, right now it's just adding noise, but let me refresh because it was bending it in a very interesting way. Oops. I'm going to turn off the depth of field as well for now. The bokeh. All right, yeah. Without the bokeh, watch this. See it? It literally acts like a lens. There we go. And if you flatten it, it's gonna like push things further away. See, there we go. So we're looking through like literally a piece of glass. And then you also can mess with, this is what I was doing before, the IOR. And now it's like gonna distort it in an interesting way. Or if you go the other way, it's gonna like almost zoom it in. But it'll do some really interesting stuff. Just throwing on that. Oh, take my. It's getting hot. I'm going to turn back down the dispersion. So. Let me zoom out so you guys can see this. So yeah, see how it's kind of bending some of those like objects in an interesting way when I move that further away. So yeah, it's just like giving it like a weird chromatic aberration distortion effect. And you know, you can do that pretty quick. I'm gonna hit render because we still have those caustics in there as well. So yeah, like just throwing up, like I said, objects in there. And someone said, what if you angle it? Let's do it. We'll do a render with an angle. Angle the lens a little. I just wanted to see what this would look like. This should have the caustics already loaded in as well. From the... It's gonna like blur it. It kind of dirties it up in like an interesting way. Like you'll see the edges like are kind of like pulling around the edges because it is literally a piece of glass, and then it's like the dispersion's like making the color. So yeah, like I said, you can make some killer like vintage looking like renders if you're just throwing some, you know, lenses in there. You could even throw some like on your roughness. You could throw some like dirt or scratches, and even like bumps. So like you could get some, and then if that's like out of focus, it would just look like you have like grime, and I don't know, just give it a totally different look rather than just like a clean render. You could do some cool dirty renders. So yeah, it's fun. Yeah, it's bending the edges of that, and see, it's bending it this way. It's like literally bending that cube on the edges. Kind of a cool look. This so far we've been going hour and 35 minutes. Let's see. I'm gonna keep going. I think we're still going pretty strong. If you guys are down. What's up, Anthony? Boyd Graphics. What's up, Chris? We did some PostFX. I can keep messing around with that. Get some 1997 CG out there. That's right, vintage renders. I could do vintage renders. Maybe that's gonna be my new name. I'm vintage render guy. You know what we should do really quick? That would be kind of cool. And I'm just kind of like my brain. I just got an idea. So we're gonna do it. I'm gonna do a spline like with MoGraph. I'm gonna save this so I don't lose it. Redshift. So I have an idea. Let's take a, let's think. Most spline, right? And let's do a cloner. Throw that in there. And I'm going to pull up a different view so I can see what's going on. But what if we made this cloner a child of the camera, right? So it's like right on the camera. But what if we did like a radial clone? So like looking down the barrel of it. I'm gonna hide that one. And then we could like add like a ton of instances. And then the most spline stuff we could do like long length, right? And you know what else we could do? Start curving it. Ooh, that looks kind of cool, right? So now it's like attached to the camera. We could just like totally trip. You can make some cool shapes. Twist it. Guys, there's so many cool things you can do with the MoGraph stuff. Anyway, let's just, I think if I hit C, okay, it makes it a spline. And then what if we did, because I know you can do the hair render, but I don't know if you can have, actually, let's do a test before I'm going to see if this can take on Redshift object, and we'll do cylinders. Let's go to the Redshift render view. Oops, wrong view. Okay, cool. So it is bending it like in a totally trippy way because of that object, the sphere. Oh, and it's probably the IOR jacked it up. But can this thing take on Redshift material, the hair? I don't remember. Let's just throw it on there and see what happens. Oh, cool, it can. Right on. We could also, I believe, thickness. Now we're tripping. That's like a weird glass portal. Change the angle of that. Could twist. That's kind of cool. Should we render this out just to see what it looks like? I am going to increase the length even more. And the cool thing is it looks like in here that we could do like a scale curve. So if we want to give it some like variety, Let's see what that will do. Whoa. Okay, I'm going to do an actual render. Use the volume render in C4D20. Oh, I know. The volume render, or the volume modeler is insane. Really cool. Really, really cool. Would say comparable or even more powerful than Octane. Chris Crock wants to know. I really like the new features. I like the features that I like just the way that the PostFX work in Redshift, honestly, because it has like cool halo effect you can do. Like I know Octane doesn't have that. It has mainly the halo effects. I really like the PostFX in here. I'll crank these up for those of you that are just joining. So you have the streak effects, which are pretty rad. We're just gonna go really hardcore with it right now. Halo, the size of your flares, crank up that chromatic aberration. There's the intensity. There we go. We're gonna really crank up the flares for you guys. Now we're at like a rave party for sure. This could be like some background. Yeah. Or like Asgard. I don't know. Yeah. Anthony, how's it going? Working on some renders on my site. This update for PostFX, I don't believe is out yet. Yeah. It'll hopefully be out soon. It's awesome. I think they could release it right now. Honestly, they could. I don't see why they wouldn't. Maybe because they're like, it's not quite where they want it, but I'm like, man, this thing's, it's awesome. It is so cool. They could totally release it right now, I think, and people would be happy. Get ready to see like everyone creating like lens flare effects, guys, because you know that's what everyone's gonna do. You know, tone down those. Yeah. Again, one of my reasons why I love Redshift is the renders come out clean. Oh, Pano said in the next 2 weeks or less. Right on. Yeah, it totally should be out. It's rad. PostFX is the new standard. It's true. The nice thing about PostFX too is you're able to, like, I know sometimes if I'm doing like concept art or just like an idea that I want to get out there, but I don't want to like take it out of the render and then like into Photoshop or into another program, Nuke, to do like all the other stuff. It's nice to be able to like make something look pretty, fast, and then send it. Like, it's a great way to get an idea out there. So let me make this thing bigger. Kind of cool. Okay. Well, we've been going, oh boy, almost 2 hours. So I think we're just about done. Visual Night. I'm gonna read a couple more comments before we end. Wondering if got it. TI. Yeah, I don't know how the RTX is gonna do. The new graphics card is gonna do with the Redshift. I'm sure it's gonna be amazing. I'm sure they're gonna optimize some stuff for that card. Hopefully, so it's even faster. But yeah, I mean that card's rad. So I'm on two 970s, but I really want to get some 1080s now that they're going to be cheaper. But maybe I should just go for the RTX. I don't know. It's interesting. While I was at Siggraph, seeing GPU renders are getting faster and faster and faster, and then you got game engines now with like what's it called? Oh my gosh. GI, or, you know, physically based rendering. Like they can do global illumination, and they're starting to meet in the middle. You're starting to see like like the Octane, the Redshift, like really push the GPU stuff like almost like live. And then now you're getting game engines that can do like path tracing. That's where you go, like path tracing and stuff like that. So we're starting to meet in the middle. It's very interesting to see like the next like couple years where VFX compositing is going to go. I wonder if it's going to be the point where before a film's made, they just do it all, like they create all the scenes, they're all rendered and they're like ready to go. And then they have the actors come on set and they film and they can like see it fully rendered, which they're already starting to do a lot of that stuff. But I'm wondering if it's going to the point where it's just like they just have to do a couple more things to sweeten it up. So anyway, Visual Knight's wondering how much the class is going to cost. Right now, for how many hours it is, it's going to be probably around 1,000. And the reason why is I've spent years trying to get it done, but I didn't want to like overprice it. And I feel like it's going to give you so much information. I haven't seen a course like it out there where it takes you from pre-production to post-production, creating a visual effects shot. And we work on a project together, and you think of, you know, how much going to school would cost, like film school, and like $70,000 plus to go to film school, and you're learning a bunch of stuff you're not going to get. Whereas with me as your instructor, you're going to get all my experience, and you're going to get like the crash course really does give you kind of the flavors of like compositing, tracking, animation, texturing, matte painting, all that stuff. And it helps you kind of guide where you may want to go in VFX, and it teaches you all the tips and tricks and stuff that I've learned over the years being on smaller teams and working in smaller teams and creating amazing cinematic visual effects shots from home on your own computer. So yeah, I think that's a good price point. Let me know what you guys think. It's definitely, you know, I think it's going to rock your guys' world. It's really cool stuff in it. I'm excited to get it out there. All right. Is there any more questions before we leave? Multipass for the post. There is no multipasses or AOVs for PostFX. Nope, not yet. Not as far as I checked, unless somehow I missed it. Yeah, not yet. I don't think so. Nope. Not yet. Probably soon. Okay. Guys, don't forget to sign up on our email list, because I do like discounts and all that fun stuff. Check us out on all the socials. My Instagram is Instagram VFX_Central. So I post my work on there. If you guys are interested, check out some of my personal like stuff. YouTube, go check out all of our YouTube. I appreciate if you guys support me and subscribe. And of course, thank you everyone that is. Thank you so much. Seriously, it means a lot. If you guys feel inclined, you can add donations. You can buy some of our merch that we just got up, and check out some of our VFX products, because I do a lot of discounts and stuff on holidays and stuff. So if you're on the email list, you're going to get discounts and all that great stuff. Let me know if we should do a giveaway for some of our products. Maybe on another stream we'll start doing giveaways. I don't know. I'm just trying that out. This will be hopefully something new. Yeah, Jan, congratulations on winning the live link. That was cool. Congrats, man. Awesome. All right, guys. Thank you. Hopefully this was educational to some degree. Sorry about some of the technical hiccups. I'll try to get a little bit better at not making as many of those mistakes. And yeah, thanks. Seriously, you guys are awesome. Really appreciate the support. I'm going to try to be more consistent. Really, really am. I'm going to get this course done, and hopefully we can keep making some cool stuff together. All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Hopefully, I'm going to do another poll and see what you guys want to learn. I think maybe we're going to do C40 basics. I had a lot of people that wanted to learn some Cinema 40 basics, so we may do some of that, or compositing stuff. I don't know. I'll do a tutorial next week, and then the week after that we'll do live stream. So, all right, guys, thank you again. Take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye.